everyone, this is Michelle from Paris Lash Academy. I am going to make a video today. Lots of people request for this video also is how to properly do a lash bath or how to cleanse, your lashes before applying lashes. I clean my client every single time when they come in, whether for a fill, a full set, a lash lift. I always clean them. Part of it is because I'm OCD and I don't trust anyone to clean them but myself. And second, lash bath plays such a big important part on how well your extension is gonna last. Often people blame everything on the glue and they say, oh, I got a bad bottle of glue, or this brand of glue doesn't work, that brand of glue doesn't work. I'm gonna say glue plays a very small part in how to make your extensions last, and lash bath is what plays a really big role onto how to get good retentions on glue. And I often tell, and I've heard people say, oh, I tell my clients to wash their lashes before they come in to see me because washing the lashes is just not my job. I don't agree to it, and to each their own, but this is how I look at it. Your client could say, oh, Michelle, I washed my lashes right before I come see you. Well, she still drove from her house to my salon where, her eyelashes would come in contact with like dust, pollen, she could have sweat, she could have washed her eyelash at like 8 o'clock in the morning and then went and meet her girlfriend for like brunch and then went to shopping for like an hour and then went pick up her dog, whatever, and then she'll come over to my salon like 3 hours later. Her eyelash still looks clean, but then she sweats. She now have a layer of sweat like right outside, right on the outer of her eyelashes. And now I'm gonna try to put extensions on top of that oil layer or dust or pollen, whatever she catch during that 3 hours. Then she go home, she wash them, and they all fall off. And obviously it's my fault now because, like her lashes falls off like 2 days after. Then I now have to fix them. So to me, it's just not worth it. It takes me like 3 minutes to do a lash bath. So then I know every single time that I do a fill or a full set, I start from a good basic that, her lashes are clean and squeaky clean because I clean them. It's 5 minutes is nothing. 3 to 5 minutes is nothing. If you really don't want to do that, I would say factor in, charge them for a lash bath. So charge them an extra $5 for that 5 minutes of your time, just so you are not losing 5 minutes of income or whatnot. To me, it's not a big deal, but to me, redoing a new set is a big deal. And if you don't wash them properly, that would happen. And then often I seen people, like if we paint a cabinet, we would never just take a cabinet and start taking paint out and paint it. We would have to sand it, we would have to prime it before we paint it. It's just common sense to me to like scrub and washing them right before you apply eyelashes. Otherwise you would have wasted like 2 hours of applying lashes, making fans, frustrated everything, and not having them to last. So yes, I tell all of my students, I couldn't care less if the client get 10 less fans in their set, but I want you to spend that 5 minutes to scrub them, wash them, and make sure. If you skip steps, if you skip washing, if you skip any step into in the process of doing extensions, and then your clients come back and they have poor retentions, you have no idea why, because you now already skip steps. You cannot narrow down what happened. Did I get a bad bottle of glue? Is she in her shedding cycle? Whatnot. But if you do everything the same exact every time, you would know it's not you. It's either she's on a new medications. It would be, she start going through menopause, on thyroid medications, or going through fall shed, whatnot. So you narrow it down to what's the reason for, that she would have poor retentions. And lash bath, like starting with a dirty set of lashes, would be one of them if you wash her right before. So this is what you would need. You would just need a cleanser and a bottle of water. Oops, that went everywhere. And you would just need some paper towel. I don't use Kleenex because Kleenex, it's just not that absorbent. So a lot of time, if you're not careful and the Kleenex doesn't catch the water fast enough, it'll go ended up in people's ears or like hair. That's just not super comfortable. So don't use Kleenex. I love paper towel. I know, get out, but yeah, I love paper towel. And cleanser, you can use any type of eyelash extensions cleanser. I recommend you to use one that's antibacterial cleanser, which means it would kill bacteria. We carry one on our website. Chrysanthi is another brand I used to use that I really love, and they sell that on Amazon as well. Yep, and just a bottle of water. Okay, and of course you would need lip applicator. So a lot of people use brushes, and that's fine. Just make sure that if you use brushes, you have a brush per client. You cannot disinfect a brush, like because it has bristle. So you cannot use a brush, toss it into the sterilizer or anything, and then use that on another person. It's just not cleaned enough. They can't disinfect the bristle, the little bristle in the brush. So if you use a brush, make sure that you use one per person. It's just too much for me because like our salon has 15 lash technicians and we see about 7 people a day per technicians, and it's just too many clients to keep track of. So I buy lip applicator. I just buy them on Amazon. They're really cheap. I use them, toss it, done. Okay, so this is what you would use. I would take a little paper towel, fold it in half, shake your bottle of cleanser a little bit, give it a couple pump onto here. I just use this and then wash them. So I wash her eyelid too, just because if I don't wash her eyelid and then her makeup or oil could have just dripped down onto her natural lashes. And watch and make sure that they don't run into her hair. Okay, and I'm going to use another piece of paper towel. Fold it in 4 and put it right by the end of her eyes. I'm going to turn her eye just a little bit. Grab my rinse bottle. So I just use water. I use bottled water or distilled water. And you almost want to like cup the side of her face to catch any water from like going down. And you can just drop them very slowly. Don't flood her eyes. Don't make it, don't drown her in water, of course. Just do it very, very slowly. I cut a very tiny piece. I cut a very, very small hole on top of the nozzle because when I buy this bottle, it's completely sealed. And I just cut a tiny, tiny, tiny little hole so then that way it doesn't like go all over her eyes and her hair and her face. And often if it's the first time that you do her, warn her first and say, I'm gonna rinse your eyes really quick, so it's gonna feel a little bit cold, but don't open your eyes, so then that way they don't go like oh my gosh. And then I don't know why people natural reactions when they get scared, they open their eyes and they'll get water all over like inside their eyes, and that's not too comfortable. So after I do that, I always use a little, you can use another lip applicator, and I would just go under and then push it against her lid. You see that? Like really close. Just because I want to get all the water that's underneath the lashes, so when she opens her eyes, it doesn't burn. Pretty much like absorb all the water that's still left. See how fast that is? So because it's so fast, I often don't understand why people would skip lash bath, because this would be like 30% of your retentions, if not more. Imagine if I would apply you know, extensions on these. Because here, I'm going to try to brush it. Imagine I would try to apply extensions on these. It has like makeup residue. You see how stiff that is? Probably from like, you know, oils or whatever. That would be super, super hard. Like, it will probably kind of dry, but when she go home and she brush them, they're all gonna pop off. Versus the other side, I would be able to brush it through it like super easy. See? And then now you know that you're applying lashes on, you know, a good base, a good clean base. There you go. And then I do the other side. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to answer questions. But yes, wash those baby lashes. Thank you.